On this episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast, we talk about Extreme Aggression by Kreator.
Yes.
You just put... For those of you out there...
I had to put on sunglasses. Well, it's that time of the year where the sun is right fucking there.
Yeah, and it's beaming straight through my windows.
So it's not that I think I'm the cool guy. No, I'm just blind.
Yeah. Give it a couple of months, it'll be dark.
Yeah, dark.
It's always dark. Anyway... Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast. I'm Kayle.
I'm OJ.
And we are two broadcasters, and we like metal, and we like talking about it. It's the laziest introduction of the concept of the podcast, but whatever.
Well, it's good because you don't, put people through hoops and whatnot. This is exactly what it is.
I'm not giving anyone any unrealistic expectations, both in tone and in content. It's precisely exactly what to expect.
You're lucky we're putting dynamics in our voice. I mean, we could just be doing the whole thing like this.
That's how I am going to be tonight.
That's how you are going to. Why? Are you okay?
Well, I did one of my truck ads today.
Oh right, yeah. Did you get honey and lemon?
No. I had some tea, but it's not enough. And it's the week is only going to get more strenuous.
Sure. You're headed out to the fair.
Yeah, tomorrow, first day of the state fair. So I'm going to be out there live for a while, and then on Saturday I'm going to be out there for even longer.
6 hours. Radio camping.
Yeah, it all pales in comparison to last Saturday.
Sure.
Where I was out there for a full 8 hours live, and yeah, that was a time. I had a fun time. I got myself a new Carhartt for $35.
Sure.
It's a very nice coat, and this one will fit me as I am now, which some of my old coats no longer do.
Why? Or did they shrink? Did you put them?
Yeah, they all shrank really bad. They shrank up really bad,
Terrible.
And they just don't fit. And my shoulders got super broad. So.
Did they? Well, yeah. That's from all that beefing up you'd done.
Yep.
Because you're jacked.
Yeah, I'm absolutely jacked.
Sure.
I'm jacked up
and jacketed.
Yep, jacketed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Full Metal Jacket. That's a movie.
And a type of ammunition.
It's true. Well, that's what they named the movie after.
Right, exactly.
If you can tell, it's been a long week.
It has been a long week for both of us.
Yeah.
I started new medication this week.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And it's been making you sleepy.
So, yeah, making me sleep. So it's been like wading through Jello to do everything.
Trying to figure out when the optimal time for you to take it is.
I didn't take it before the podcast. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
So I'm going to be fine. I'll take it later, and then it's what my daughter calls "Daddy's not going to kill anybody today" pills.
Oh God. I mean, they're anti-anxiety, not antipsychotics.
Sure, that's true. Yeah. For the record.
For the record, they're not antipsychotics.
No.
Anything else? You haven't gotten your bike fixed yet.
No, I haven't.
I would have heard about that.
I know you would have heard it through the window, me coming in. But yeah, well, as it turns out, I'm not as mechanically inclined as I thought I was. I took the thing apart and I looked at it and I went, it's broke. And
hey, you were able to identify it's broke.
I was able to identify that. So now, essentially, what needs to happen is I need to magically come into some sort of maybe a YouTube video or something that shows me how to reassemble this dang thing properly, or maybe just a new piece in there, or I need to have them come down with the tow machine and take it up to the.
What precisely is it now that's broken?
It's the starter switch. The starter switch on it. I took it apart and I looked at it, and it's broke. Yep, it's a plastic piece.
Okay.
That you push it and it goes instead of going boom.
So there is something physically broken on it rather than like a wire or something that's not in the right spot.
And this bike is old enough to where everything you order is at least $50 because it doesn't exist anymore.
It's an old bike.
Right.
You ever think about getting a newer bike?
I've thought about it. The only problem...
Not like a new bike, but a newer bike.
My bike! What I think about is that if I get any kind of a newer bike, it's probably going to be too big for the shed.
I suppose.
This one fits. It winters well. It goes into the
You could probably find something that's about that size.
Perhaps. I mean, it's not a huge motor. It's a 700.
Yeah, it's not like a big old hog or anything.
No.
It's a relatively smaller bike.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you could find something that's of the appropriate size. Somebody's got to make that.
Perhaps. But I spent $700 buying it.
Yeah. When did you buy it?
In 2014, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've spent about $1,600 fixing it.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you with them old vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And it still has duct tape holding parts of it together. Actually, I upgraded to electrical tape.
There you go.
It's got black tape holding the left turn signal on. That's where we're at. What else is going on?
Oh, I think that Frosthelm concert might have come and went.
Oh, do we miss the free? Oh, we did.
It's the 19th.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I got a text message. Who did I get from my mom? Oh.
Hi, Mrs. B.
Yeah. I'll get to that. I'll get back to you later, Mom.
Okay.
So
we is it possible to get to that tomorrow? But you have to work until like 6.
Yeah, I have to work until 6 on, tomorrow.
Right.
And then the next morning, I don't have to get up until, because I wasn't I guess I was aware somewhere that I might have to work Saturday, but.
Sure. But it's only like 10:30 you'll have to get up.
Yeah, but still, after a metal show with my physicality,
sure.
That's not going to be a pleasant morning.
So you're debating on whether or not you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I know I want to go.
Yeah.
It's just I don't think it's feasible. And, the argument is always, well, you don't have to go nuts. You don't have to mosh and you don't have to headbang a lot. It's like, yeah, but it's not the same.
Right.
It's like if I'm just going to stand there and watch, I might as well stay home.
Sure.
And listen to the same material because it's available. Their material is available on streaming platforms. So
going to a metal show, standing at the back and going between songs,
It's like that's not how I like to experience metal shows. I like to get involved, and I don't want to just be standing in the back doing nothing.
Right. You want to get a little bit tipsy and then maybe get a bloody nose at some point.
Well, it'll be at an art museum, so I don't think I'll be getting a little bit tipsy.
They'll have like booze.
Will they?
Oh yeah, they always do.
I guess I wasn't aware.
They're part of the wine walk.
Suppose. I guess I wasn't aware that there would be alcohol. I didn't know they. Did they have a liquor license at the art museum?
Well, they get a temporary beer and wine license, which is fairly cheap.
Okay,
you can do that. I just think it'll be weird to walk around. Here's Frosthelm. They're a blackened thrash band, and as they're playing, you can walk around and see the beautiful works of art.
Yeah,
that are displayed on the wall.
I mean, that's what it was like at 62 Doors, but instead of like really nice art, or it was I don't want to say shitty art, but it was more modern art type stuff.
More modern art, more sort of project art, not really artists who do this for a living.
Yeah, it's mostly just local artists that put it up in there.
And it's great, but
yeah, it's nice. A lot of it's really cool, but it's not museum art.
It'd be funny. This happens to be the day where they have a lot of glassware around.
It's still bizarre to me that they're holding a show there at all.
I know it is. It's kind of weird.
Why
a
there?
Fine art museum.
Why not at was the
coffee shop was taken. They couldn't.
God,
are you gonna make it, man?
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I already had a beer.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that was a mistake.
Because you're all relaxed now.
Yeah, you know what I did today that I've never done before?
What'd you do?
And it's not a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's it is big in a sense. I decided to go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac.
Really? You've never had a Big Mac before?
I've never had a Big Mac before.
Really? Wow.
Because when I was a child, I was extremely picky and didn't, the Big Mac.
As opposed to now.
Yeah, I was even more picky, if that's to be believed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want, anything extraneous on my burger. I just wanted it meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese bun.
Yeah, meat, cheese bun. And
no ketchup? No pickle?
For the longest time, no.
Wow.
I was a strange child.
Did you enjoy the Big Mac? What'd you think of it?
It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't life-changing or anything. I'd eat it again. I think there was, honestly, too much lettuce.
That's a lot of lettuce and a lot of bun.
Yeah, it's and I'm a huge fan of bread.
Mm-hmm.
I love bread. I love carbs.
Sure.
I love carbs far too much.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be the death of me. But
it causes your jackets to shrink.
yeah, it causes my jackets to shrink. But yeah, like it was not enough. I feel like it would have been balanced out better had there been more meat.
Sure.
But I mean, part of the selling point of a Big Mac is like you've got all this flavor and it's only 500 calories.
Sure. For a while there, they were doing the Grand Mac. Do you remember that at all? Not too long ago?
I don't remember that.
Well, what was funny about it, because they had 3 sizes of Big Mac. They had the regular Big Mac there in the middle, and they had the Junior Mac, which was essentially just
smaller.
Yeah, it just had one patty. Then they had the Grand Mac, which is funny because on the packaging, for some reason, whoever designed it, on top of it, it just said Grandma.
What was the Grand Mac?
It was like, I think it was quarter pounder patties. It was larger patties.
Yeah, that sounds like my jam right there.
Right.
They were great. I usually go for like a double quarter pounder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I usually go for at McDonald's. But the thing about the double quarter pounder is there's no lettuce on it.
Right.
I like lettuce on my burgers, so I thought, I'll get a Big Mac. But it's not enough meat. But I don't know. Maybe that's part of the point.
Maybe
what I don't need is more McDonald's meat. That's the last thing I need.
Uh-huh. How's your colon?
Destroyed. Although I woke up today with some upset in that department, so yeah. I don't think the McDonald's is really going to make much of a difference.
All right.
Oh goodness gracious me.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of anything else that's going on in the next week. I'm just going to be busy.
You just wait until after the fair. After the fair, have you ever gone swimming and you realized you went swimming for too long? You were in the lake and
absolutely.
Like, how long have I been in this lake? Fucking 3 hours. Oh my god! And
Jesus.
Then you get out and for like hours.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to feel next Saturday.
Yeah. I fully expect that. I've already put in for some time off at the beginning of August.
Sure.
Just because that's when me and my friends are going to the North Dakota Renaissance Festival. Is on August 1st, I believe, is when we're going that weekend. I think that's a Saturday. And then I've put in for that Monday and Tuesday off.
All right.
And I'm expecting to put in more over the next couple of months just because I haven't used any time off yet because I never have anything that I need to go do.
Right, and that sucks when it gets down to like December and they say, hey, you have 2 weeks to use and everybody else is going to be off, so you're going to be here alone and you're not going to take your time off.
And, you're missing out on this stuff that you're supposed to use.
Yep.
And that's what happened to me last year. I think I finished the year out with like 4 more days left. Because I didn't have anything to do, and I was only there for 6 months at that point too.
Sure.
But still, it's like, I want to make sure that I use it. But
you still only get 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
At this point,
I've been telling myself for a while that I need to take some time off, and so finally it'll be on the horizon of like, hey, take a break. I honestly was considering taking an entire week off, but I would have trouble justifying that to myself, even though I'm the only one I need to justify that to.
Sure.
Like nobody else cares. Nobody's asking me, well, what are you using that time off?
No, they're saying, okay, here we'll fill you in.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Who cares?
Like nobody's asking me what I'm going to go do. It's just the thing is I would probably do the first thing that comes to mind, which is nothing.
Sure. And
just stay in my apartment for a week and get fucking nothing done.
It'd be great. Ask for the week off at one point, and actually on the paperwork itself, write Bacchanalian orgy.
Yeah,
he's taking up a whole week for that.
Holy
my God.
Shit! I mean, honestly, I could use something like that to finish or start playing all of these video games that I've told myself I'm going to replay these, or I'm going to buy this and start playing it. And I haven't done it because I don't know what it is. I used to be so steady with playing video games and enjoying them greatly, and I still enjoy them greatly. But even though there is, I have very little obligations when I'm at home.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. I don't have pets. I don't have anything else really going on. I'm not in a relationship. I have no obligations when I'm at home, but I still get distracted constantly and want to go and do other things and talk to people on Facebook or whatever. And because I love single player games because I suck at multiplayer games.
Right.
And like I get distracted from them and can't just commit myself to playing them. The last time I did that was Red Dead 2, and I enjoyed it immensely.
Which I still haven't finished.
Yeah.
Because I have other things I do have. Obligations.
You have obligations. You have an excuse. And it's weird to say that, like, you have an excuse not to play video games.
I have people who want my attention.
Yeah, but for me, it's ostensibly one of my hobbies that I've been neglecting for like 2 years now. I've used to love playing the video games, and I for some reason have lost some amount of attention span even for that, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I guess I played some Doom more recently.
Sure. Oh, when does that come out again? Is that December? November.
November. Doom Eternal, and that one, like, that's the other thing, is there are some big releases. Like Red Dead 2 was like that. Like I struggle a lot more with replaying certain games that I've already played, because you have the impatience of, I've already done this. I don't want to have to go through all of this. But like I had that problem with The Witcher, which is a game I love, but I didn't finish it the first time through, and I started a second one, and it's like, I've already done all this stuff.
Right.
But I wanted to go all the way through it again, so I would have all of my equipment and whatnot that I wanted or needed.
Yeah, I think the only time where I almost didn't have regret was with Skyrim, doing that, as playing a different species. I'm gonna do this whole thing again. Oh, here we are.
Yeah. Well, Skyrim's easy to play over again.
Sure.
Though, because it's so simple. Skyrim is a very simple game to play. Like The Witcher is really complicated because there's a lot of steps to every quest. Like, all right, now you gotta look around for clues about this monster and make a potion to fight it, and go and talk to all these people and have these really in-depth conversations. And I love it for that, because the writing is magnificent, but it makes it a bit of a task to play through again.
Sure.
The first time it's like, oh my gosh, this is all new to me. But when it's not new information to you anymore, it's a little difficult. So I think, like, replaying games is more difficult for me, but new releases, I think I've kind of figured out it's easier for me to keep distractions away. I did that for Red Dead pretty successfully, and played that for a solid month.
Boy.
Yeah, it's all right, boy. But like, I played that for like a solid month. I played I forgot about God of War.
Really?
Yeah, I played through pretty much all of God of War. I did take one fairly big pause in the middle there, but
you didn't beat all the Valkyrie, did you?
No, I don't know if I have the constitution for that. I played through the story, which is what I wanted out of it. I'm not
Great game.
Yeah, I'm not a completionist by any stretch of the imagination. And some of the other ones that are coming up on the horizon is, like you said, Doom Eternal. There's Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm probably going to play. I can't remember what the release date was on that. I can't remember if that's coming out this year, but yeah, there's stuff that's coming up that I think I'll probably pick up and actually play through.
Rage 2 is already out, right?
Yeah, that's been out for a while.
Yeah, it has been out for a while. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah. I'm not particularly interested in that.
No.
I might pick up Borderlands 3 when that drops, just because I have friends that are interested in that, and I've never been able to play a Borderlands game the way they're meant to be played.
Why?
Because I haven't had a solid group of online friends that are in the same time zone.
I have never done that. I have never played a game online.
Really?
Yeah, I've never, because I don't like the company of other people.
Okay.
So I don't. Yeah. I mean, like, right now is almost too much.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. It is. I really grew out of love with multiplayer games and a lot of online games, especially with random people. With my friends that my college friends and stuff, co-op games is really what it is for me. I did play a decent amount of Rising Storm 2, but that's mostly because I was intrigued by the setting because there's not very many Vietnam games out there.
Sure.
But
I know in multiplayer games, I know I would do things just to make the other people angry.
Oh yeah,
I would totally. What's the name?
Grief.
No.
Troll.
No, the guy who says his name real loud and runs into battle.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. I would totally do everything a la Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. There you go.
Where's he going? God damn it.
Well, and like with the Leroy Jenkins sort of brings up MMOs for me, which like I've never been, even when I was playing multiplayer games regularly, I've never been very interested in MMOs. I played a lot of RuneScape when I was a kid, but other than that, I have never been very interested in MMOs. There's been a couple that friends of mine have tried to get me into, and it's like even playing with them, I get done with a night of playing that, and like I have no interest in playing that again. I'm like, whether it's World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2 or whatever it is, it's like I don't feel like playing this again. This feels like work. Video games should not feel like work.
Am I getting paid for this?
Yeah, and you can. People have made money off of playing World of Warcraft even before, like streaming was a thing.
Sure,
people made money off of that. Anyway, we've dilly-dallied.
Yes, indeed.
For a long time.
Let's talk about this beer.
Yeah, Elysian Space Dust. I got it.
I've never seen it in the light before. Never watched it in a sunbeam.
Oh yeah.
It is non-filtered.
Oh yes, there's some pulp in there.
Yeah, there is.
There's some pulp floating around in there.
This is beer from concentrate.
Yes, it's good shit.
Yeah,
I like it. I also bought it simply. I like the art of the happy little hop there.
Yeah, the happy little hop barfing space dust.
Yeah, but also Elysian Space Dust sounds like something out of a sci-fi. Like Elysian Space Dust sounds like a drug that would be referred to in The Expanse or something. This kid was high on Elysian Space Dust. What's Elysian Space Dust? It's just heroin.
Essentially,
it's just space cocaine. That's all it is.
It's made from space poppies.
Yep, made from space pop. There's a secret poppy farm on Ganymede.
Right.
That's an Expanse reference. Oh,
yeah.
While we're on the topic of The Expanse, I saw the first stills. They released the first stills of season 4.
They have still pictures.
Yeah, still pictures.
Are they making moonshine in the new?
Yeah, they're making. You can now buy Ganymede Scotch. No, yeah, the first still images on set.
Sweet.
And one of it's really weird because there was a bunch of pictures of them. Spoilers, by the way, for The Expanse. They're on a planet.
Damn it!
At the end of that. For a certain level, that is a bit of a spoiler, I guess.
Sure.
But they're on a planet that is not in the solar system.
Right.
And it is.
They're on the other side of the thing inside the thing.
They're on the other side of the rings.
Yeah.
And it's weird to see all of those characters on the ground.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. It's like they're in an actual environment right now instead of inside of a spaceship.
On natural gravity.
Yeah, they're not inside some urban sci-fi setting. They're just in a field, and it was bizarre.
Of poppies.
Yeah, they were in a field of poppies, and falling asleep because the Wicked Witch of the West was bewitching them or whatever. Anyway, album.
All right. Let's move on.
God.
Oh God. Yes, I got this album on cassette right when it came out.
By the way, it's Extreme Aggression by Kreator. If you out there had forgotten while we fucking
those of you who dozed off and are now blinking awake because we mentioned
the
fact that
wake up
over here.
Wake up. Hey. That's as much for ourselves as it is for everyone else.
Good album. Now it's touted by many as their possibly 4th or 5th, maybe even 6th best album.
That's wow. I didn't think it would be that far on the list. I guess I saw a lot of things were online that said like this is the band at the peak of their sound.
Really?
Yeah, that's what some of the buzz that I saw online was.
I love this album. It was very important to me as a 16-year-old kid.
So 1989,
Yeah.
OJ 16.
Or 50. I was 15.
15. How did you said you came across a cassette.
A cassette, yes.
Where? How? Did you discover it under a bridge?
A troll. I said his name backwards. He disappeared, and all was left was a Kreator album.
Wow.
On cassette. Yeah.
That's great.
Then I took my billy goats, and we listened to some metal. It was great.
I mean, listening to metal with goats is very appropriate.
It is. There are some metal goats out there.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of the Satan thing.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, with the goats. He's got a thing for goats.
Sure.
He is a goat.
And one of those goats was a whore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they grew up and had a career of their own, as I understand. I think I have some of their work. I have a poster of theirs hanging on the wall in my bedroom.
Sure, yeah, indeed. I haven't been in there, but...
Yeah, you don't want to be in there.
I don't want to. I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's all the torture implements in the walls and stuff and the blood.
And the blood and the odd meat smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually just the beef in the fridge. I have
right.
I have a little mini fridge
He has a mini fridge with raw beef for some reason.
A mini fridge full of raw beef.
In his bedroom.
That's a mini fridge full of raw beef sounds like a really weird B-side off of an early Cattle Decap album.
It may be. It's possible.
Anyway. What the fuck were we talking about?
Talking about Kreator.
Extreme Aggression. So yeah, Kreator, they're a German band.
They are German.
They're
Camilla Petrosa.
They're from Essen.
Mm-hmm.
They were first formed in 1982. They've had a very lasting impact on metal as a whole, I would say. Although they never, and they're still doing it, and they never really. Well, they broke into the mainstream a little bit later,
right?
But like when other bands like Anthrax and Metallica and Slayer and whatnot were kind of breaking into mainstream consciousness, Kreator sort of lagged behind.
They did. And they got very experimental in the 90s.
Yeah, it's weird to me because. Like at the local record store, there's sort of metal bands sprinkled throughout as you go through the alphabet. Sure. And then K, there's a whole section that is just Kreator.
Right.
There's a whole big section of that shelf that is just Kreator albums. And I've always been confused as to why specifically Kreator.
Because they're great.
I suppose, and now I've been exposed to it, and it's like, yeah, they're pretty great, but still, it's like, I feel like there's not even that many Metallica albums at the record store, and bands like that. Why is there such a healthy stock of Kreator at our local record store? Is someone there just a really big Kreator fan?
I actually think, yeah.
Okay,
it's actually the case.
Okay, that might actually be
the manager
case.
Is actually a Kreator fan.
All right.
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah.
They've been called one of the big four of Teutonic thrash metal.
One of the big four of Teutonic thrash metal.
One of the big four of Teutonic thrash metal.
Of all the Teutonic thrash bands, these guys are tops. These
guys
are
one
in
of the
that top four. Yeah.
They've been credited with helping pioneer death metal and black metal by containing several elements of what was to become those genres, and I agree with that a lot. I didn't quite have time this evening, but I wanted to listen to this album and then listen to Scream Bloody Gore and see how similar they sounded, because I was listening to this and going, this could be death metal.
It could be.
Like it's not a stretch of the imagination to me to call this album an early death metal album. It's about as heavy. It's got harsh vocals.
He's a lot more screamy than growly, but
yeah, he's up there a bit higher. But if you think of like Sound of Perseverance or something like Chuck never had a particularly deep growl.
No.
And he just went higher on Sound of Perseverance.
Right.
So it's I wanted to almost call this a death metal album in some ways. I mean, it's certainly transitional, but I feel like if you compared it to what was the other one, Possessed was the other like early or was that
Possessed was American.
Well, yeah, but I mean like the band other than Death that is the contender for who put out the first death metal album. Is that Possessed?
Is it Possessed?
I don't know. I can't remember.
You know the lead guitar player for Possessed in the early days eventually became the guitar player for Primus.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What is it with Primus?
I don't know.
They just come up everywhere.
They do. There's like 6 degrees of Primus.
Yeah, basically.
Larry Lalonde.
Les Claypool. which to me almost sounds like a fake name.
It does.
It's still funny to me that they did the theme song to South Park. I didn't know that for the long. I mean, I didn't know who Primus was for a long time, but then, that's after I knew who Primus was, I didn't know they did the theme song for South Park, and then sometime later it was like, yeah, they did this theme song for South Park. You probably said that, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that's Primus.
I did say, yeah. And I saw on Twitter somebody say that their favorite ones are Drowning, Dead, and Less Clay. Those are their three favorite pools. Yeah.
Why is Drowning Pool the first one there?
I don't know. That's what they said on Twitter. I don't necessarily condone everything I read on Twitter.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Twitter is a terrible place.
Terrible place full of terrible people.
Yep.
Anyway, you can find us on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, God. So, yeah, Kreator.
Are you gonna make it, man?
I don't think so. I think I'm on my way out. I think I'm dead.
Do I need to carry you into the meat fridge?
Carry it into the meat fridge. Another album name. Shall we ask a question here? Does it slap?
Does it slap? I think it slaps.
I would agree. I believe. Mm-hmm. I do believe. Mm-hmm. I do declare that this snaps. Yeah.
Can I get a... Amen.
Yeah. No. No, you can't get.
No, you can't. You don't have the energy for that.
Can I get a Hail Satan?
Can I get a Hail Satan?
Hail Satan. That's what I got for you.
It would be hilarious if it turns out the Satanist church was just full of a lot of really lackadaisical people.
I mean, I feel like it is though. Depending upon, I guess, which sect. I don't know about mainstream LaVeyans, but judging by the trailer I saw for Hail Satan, it seems like the Satanic Temple. They seem pretty cool.
Do we go to regular temple? No, we don't.
Yeah, when they people were getting up in their face when they were at like a protest or something.
Yeah.
One of the, a couple of the people there were looked like soccer moms.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So going to the Satanic Temple.
I drop my kids off at soccer over for practice,
and then I go worship Satan.
Yeah.
And they don't actually worship Satan though. So
no, they don't.
Yeah. That's not the point. That's not how that works.
I feel like a lot of them are just contrarians.
That's really what it is. Mm-hmm. And LaVeyan Satanism was just an excuse for Anton LaVey to have orgies. I think.
Well, yeah.
To have orgies with like Hollywood socialites. That was pretty much it. And that was a lot of Thelema too, which was what's his face, Aleister Crowley's thing.
Right.
That was just one big excuse to have orgies.
Which I love pictures of Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, the most evil man in the world, and he's just this normal
goofy dude.
Yeah, just normal goofy looking guy. Yeah. People called him the most evil man in the world. Just this super goofy looking guy. Like he just wanted to have a lot of sex. That's it.
Sure. Well, yeah.
He just wanted to have a lot of sex and to have it be kind of weird.
Sure. Yeah, he already had the weird, but he wanted the weird part down, and then he made excuses.
It was kinks, like it was so taboo to be kinky in the late 1800s and early 1900s that he just decided to say, fuck it, I guess it has to be a religion. I feel like that's what it was. We weren't at the level of kink acceptance that we are today, and so previously, in order to make that somewhat acceptable somehow,
right,
it had to be part of a religion.
He got caught having too much wine and a four-way, and oh yeah,
I'm just a pagan.
Yeah.
Like the Romans, they did this shit.
I
mean, that wasn't Aleister Crowley's bit, but no. I feel like that could be an excuse you could make.
Sure.
It's like, I'm a pagan. It's Roman paganism. They fucked a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Sure.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Me and my goat.
Me. That off topic, even more off topic. That reminded me of a recent episode of the Grand Tour where they went to I want to say Brazil, and were shocked to see, kind of relatively out in the open, a man making love to his donkey.
Sure.
Which is a thing that happens down there.
It does.
Out in the country.
It happens probably more than people are willing to admit.
Well, it seems to be an even more like common thing, because like there's, people make jokes about that, and it happens somewhere. But apparently it's particularly common in Brazil. It's like a cultural thing.
Yeah, and it was actual they were doing it missionary. It was a
okay. This was a bad road to go down. This was a cul-de-sac.
A cul-de-sac, and now
let's just turn this shit around.
The end has deadened, and
let's just turn around to that bulb at the end.
There we go.
Swing back around, and
were they kissing?
No.
Okay, then it wasn't really lovemaking.
You're making it worse. I'm getting more and more tired just talking to you. That'd be a weird insult. Just you make me tired.
You're exhausting.
You're exhausting.
Believe it or not, you're not the only person to say that to me. It's okay. I've already got thick skin in that department.
All right. So back on topic.
Sure. What's the score?
Yeah, the score here that I was able to find based on 7 reviews was 93%.
93%,
which is pretty goddamn solid.
It's a great album.
Yeah, it's a great album. There was a multiple 100s in there. A lot of 90s, of course. Since it's above a 90, there'd have to be a lot of 90s. There was only like 180. Yeah, the opinion on this album was very, very solid. A lot of people seem to think very highly of this album. And I enjoyed it quite a bit as well. What's your favorite song?
Betrayer is my favorite song. It's just the catchiest song on there.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
I think if I spend a little bit more time with it, I might choose something different. But I think Betrayer is the one I have to go to. That is also the one that they made a music video for and got the most traction on like Headbangers Ball and stuff like that. Was Betrayer. So yeah, I would have to agree. I found that one.
That one, the title track is really good.
Yep. A lot of this was extremely enjoyable. I just wish I was a bit more awake and had a bit more time to absorb it. God.
Can you go
next? Can we skip next week?
You want to skip next week?
Yeah, we might not do an episode next week.
All right.
Just because I'm gonna be burnt out
from the fair,
and it'll be, if we go at 7, I'll only have been
home for an hour. Well, you won't have been home for an hour. You'll have been done working for an hour.
I will have only been home for probably about 30 minutes.
Right.
So
at most.
Yeah, I think next week we're gonna take next week off.
Take the bye.
We're gonna take the bye. We're not done talking about Kreator yet, though. Somehow
he said, and then snored for a bit, and then
he said and nearly collapsed in his chair. I don't want anyone out there to think that this is not because I didn't enjoy this album.
No,
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
You've made it clear that you're just tired.
I really wish I was more present to talk about this because this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this album.
Sure, and I feel like maybe if the Big Mac had more meat on it, you'd have more red blood cells.
Yep.
You'd be not so
I
anemic
needed
right
more
now.
protein. That's what I needed.
That's the whole issue.
Yep. If I should have gotten that, I shouldn't have gone to McDonald's is the first thing.
Right.
I should have gone to like Wendy's or something.
Wendy's or Longhorn or something like that.
Yeah. I should have gone maybe to an actual fucking restaurant. I was thinking about that for lunch today, and I was like, nah.
It's funny is that I've done that where I've gone and gotten a sausage McMuffin, and then showed up later on for the Big Mac value meal, and the lady in the window goes, "Back again, Mr. Banks," and I go, "Just don't make eye contact with me. Don't.
You shouldn't know my name. I don't want anyone here to know my name.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I should have gone to Wendy's or something like that.
Sure. Got the Baconator.
Or gone, like I said, gone to an extra restaurant. The thing about fast food
it's fast.
Is that it's fast, and then you can take it back and eat it in the comfort of your own home.
Sure.
You could do that with restaurant food, but I would feel weird being like, "Hi, could I could you bring that to me?
Yeah, can you?
In a box,
Right.
And then bring me the check immediately as well,
right?
Because I'm going to leave as soon as possible.
I realize I could sit down here, and that's the whole point of this place. But fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
I hate you. I just want your food. Because that's what I want to do, especially if I'm by myself. That's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to. Why should I stay here and eat? I'm not talking to anyone. This isn't a destination for me.
Right.
I just want the food that I didn't have to make.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually don't mind it sometimes. If I go to a restaurant with not a whole lot of people, they serve margaritas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not so bad.
That's not so bad. Just bring me the chimichanga.
See, the problem is like some of my favorite restaurants in town are always going to be busy at the points where I will go to them. Like I really love Ebenezer's.
Oh yeah,
but Ebenezer's, is there a night
always
where Ebenezer?
People.
Yeah, there's not a single night where Ebenezer's isn't busy because it's a great restaurant.
You've had the Fat Frog, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
maybe not.
That's the one where it's a sausage, but it has French fries and chicken strips on it, and various other shit that doesn't seem like it should go to. There might be a dollop of ice cream.
Oh boy!
And
I don't think I've had that. I think the most adventurous thing I've had at Ebenezer's has been the waffle burger.
Sure, that's delicious.
That is delicious. It is fantastic.
Try the Fat Frog. That's a true
frog. That'll
true
be the
Minot experience.
That'll be the next one on my list. I also have tried the meatloaf burger. That is fantastic as well. The meatloaf burger is very good.
You are hard pressed to get a bad meal there.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I think one time I might have had a French dip as well. Mm-hmm. That was also quite good.
Which sounds like something out of the Urban Dictionary, really. But I mean,
French dip. Yeah, it's a roast beef sandwich, and you've got au jus to dip it in. That's what it is. Does anybody out there not know what a French dip is? I feel like I don't have to explain.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to explain that.
I feel like everyone knows what a French dip is. You've been to Arby's.
Yeah. They have
French dips and they call them French dips.
Uh-huh. And it's got beef and you dip it in France.
Yeah, that's I don't need I don't know why I felt the need to explain what a French dip is.
You get some warm au jus and you just
au jus.
Get the au jus.
Get the au jus. That's how they say it in Germany.
Sure. Au jus.
That's how Kreator would say it.
Sure.
Hey, speaking of Kreator.
Hey, I hear they made an album in 1999.
And we came back around from this cul-de-sac. What medal you giving this?
I give it a gold.
A gold?
Mm-hmm.
By virtue of not having enough experience with it, I'm gonna have to give it a silver.
All right.
But again, that's because I just have not listened to it enough and as intently as it deserved.
This is one of the cassette tapes that was in my cassette tape holder that my mom and dad ripped off of my wall because they thought I was becoming a Satanist.
Oh.
So this is one of those things, and as I saw them taking it out, one of my first thoughts was, fucking Kreator. They're taking my Kreator album.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Of course, I think they also took an Al Di Meola album. Okay, how is that? You know what? Never mind. You guys
were you listening to Were you listening to Passion, Grace, and Fire yet?
That was the album.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah, Al Di Meola. That song was on. That's how I got introduced to that album.
Okay.
That song was at the end of Al Di Meola's Black Cat. It's like there has to be more of this, and then.
What is this, flamenco?
Why, this is great. I enjoy this way too much. I must investigate.
And so that was one of the songs.
Yeah.
I was totally pulling that out of my ass.
No,
I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah. Yeah. Al Di Meola was one of the guitarists on that flamenco album that we reviewed.
Oh, wow. I totally pulled that out of my ass.
Electric Rendezvous was the name of that album.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, they were worried about you becoming a Satanist when in actuality you just became an atheist.
Yeah, I had already become an atheist at that point.
It's too late, Mom and Dad.
It's too late, Mom and Dad.
You've already spoiled it. The pot has already been spoiled.
Yeah, the worm has turned. I no longer. Yeah, You know what? If a Satanist came up to me, Mom and Dad, and said, "Hey, we want you to worship Satan," I go,
"That's just a little silly, isn't it?"
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's my reaction too. It's just I'm too much of a skeptic.
Yeah, I'm too much of it. Really? You're drawing a star on the floor.
Like, it looks fun. I love the iconography, but it's just a bit too much for me. We can hang out, but like don't ask me to do that.
Right.
It's the same. It'd be the same thing I'd say to my Christian friends.
Well, I listen to Christian metal as well. I've had a whole bunch of that.
So I mean, I'm wearing a Silent Planet hat right fucking now.
Yeah. It's like I went to that the thing at the Scandinavian Park. It was basically a Christian rock festival that they have every year. And I remember one friend of mine said, "What are you doing here? Like the devil has showed up. Yeah. What is he doing here?" And he said, this is Christian music." And I said, "I listen to satanic music too. It's good. It's good.
Good music is good music.
I like it.
As long as you're not offending me in some way.
I have Buddhist music as well.
Yeah. It's. Of
course, those guys are usually bald and sitting together in an echoey room.
Yeah, there you go. Some Buddhist chants. Mm-hmm. Some I'd listen to some Gregorian chants.
I love Gregorian chant.
It's good music is good music. Like as long as the people who are making it aren't complete assholes.
Right.
Then I don't really care. And there are some times where it's like, yeah, they are complete assholes, but this still is pretty good. I just feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
The assholery that I won't condone is Nazism.
Yeah.
That's always, for me, if I'm looking at new black metal bands, I'm like, are blank Nazis.
Right.
They are.
They are. Damn it.
Shit.
Oh, man. Oh, he's wearing a red hat.
Oh, god damn it. Wait, the red hat thing? I didn't get it.
I had an album by the Benzedrine Monks of Santo Dominica.
Wow.
Yeah, the Gregorian chanted the hits of today.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it when monks have fun.
Yeah.
That's always been fascinating. Monk beer has always been fascinating to me.
Sure.
We don't have really anything else to do, so do you want to make beer? Well, because I mean that's how everything used to kind of work. Where it was like if there was something that took some amount of knowledge and patience, monks made it typically.
Right, and they also made coffee. I mean, you realize like cappuccino, made by monks, because they made the beer for afternoon and they made the cappuccino for before noon.
Yep, and then and that would have been post Crusades because before then coffee was specifically a Muslim thing.
Right. Yeah. It was kaf.
Because it was, I think it was in Yemen when it was first roasted and brewed, and they got the beans from Ethiopia. Well, they got the beans from Somalia, and the Somalians got the beans from Ethiopia.
Right.
And then they're like, well, let's set this shit on fire, see what happens. and then they made coffee. That was at least the first time that we know of that somebody made coffee the way we make it today.
Right, because it's inside a fruit, and then they had to take the fruit off, and they had to do something else to it.
So somebody like first someone was like, all right, well, there's this fruit and there's these beans in here. Let's pop one of these in.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, hey,
it needs to be roasted.
All right,
what if we snorted this?
A little tingly there. Okay. And then somebody was like, "Oh, let's set it on fire, I guess. See what happens." All the other food. We set all our other food on fire.
Yeah, let's set it all on fire. Let's leave it in this bowl. Oh shit, it rained last night. Well, there's water in here and it's all brown. What's going on?
Let's give this a shot. It'd be better if we warmed this up.
Yeah. Maybe put it under some high pressure water and then maybe squirt some milk in it.
We have some goat's milk over here. Let's take some cream off the top of that.
And maybe if I put on a dirty t-shirt and a ponytail, maybe I could make this for a lot of people.
And thus the first barista was born in the year 700 or whatever. Or maybe it was the 400s when they started doing. I don't remember. But the history of coffee is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus Christ!
All right, where'd we go?
I don't know where we went. I don't know where we are.
Time is it? Oh, hey, 7:47.
Hey, that's an airplane.
I swear we're not high. We did not get high before doing this podcast.
Honestly, if I was, I'd probably be more attentive.
Perhaps. Because you'd have to make an effort.
Yeah. I would know. I'd be like, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, God. It's only getting worse, too. It's only going to get worse.
It's only going to... Well, that's why we're taking off next week.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is... And here's what happens. You haven't been out to the fair all day, every day, have you? Yet? Mm-mm. You didn't do this last year? No. I was out there. I've been out there many years where I spent an entire day out there. And what ends up happening is when you get home, you sweat grease through your pores, regardless of whether or not you ate the 6-pound nachos.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I was super wound up last Saturday after my my day of broadcasting live. I was like really, really wound up.
Yeah.
And I just needed to relax badly. So I don't know if it's going to be quite so bad since I'll be out there for half as long most days. But yeah, that was oof. I really had to take some time to decompress on Saturday night. But
I remember one year, Big Mike, who's dead now. He was miss you, Mike.
Continue.
He was out at the fair, and it was 104 degrees.
Oh boy!
And he and I were out there all day, and he went home. And, he's Big Mike for a reason.
Yeah.
Because he was a big guy. He got home and he took his body temperature several hours after having left the fair, and he was still 104 degrees.
Holy fuck!
His body absorbed all that heat and kept it.
That is very bad. He needed to take an ice bath.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Weather seems like it's going to be all right.
It's going to be in the 80s. It'll be fine.
Low 80s tomorrow and Saturday as well. Low 80s. So that won't be too bad. And there's going to be wind every day. So.
Right.
At any rate, yeah. Like we said, next week we're going to be taking that off. The week after that,
we'll do what? What album?
I think I had come up with something earlier, but it's honestly slipping past me right now. To no surprise.
Just let
whatsoever.
me know and I'll listen to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't think of exactly what it was.
I know what album I want to do in 3 weeks. Okay. Are you going to be around in 3 weeks? Or are you going to be at the?
It'll be Monday. It'll be Monday and Tuesday when I take the time off.
All right, so you'll be back.
And when I take the time off, I'm going to be here.
Oh, okay.
The Renaissance Fair is only in Regent. I'm not going to be there for 3 days.
Oh.
I'm not going to be in fucking
Regent, North Dakota.
For 3 days. No,
the sprawling megalopolis of Regent, North Dakota.
I'm coming back. I'm just taking time off.
Not going to hit every restaurant in Regent?
No. Out of the one, probably.
Yeah,
there might be a cafe.
You can go there, fill up on gas, buy your seed.
I love small town cafes.
They are awesome.
Small town cafes are great.
They're the best.
There was a great cafe in Stanton that I went to one time. That was fantastic.
Only one time. You lived in the area.
Well, I mean, we had cafes in Washburn and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Stanton's kind of out of the way. Like the only time we ever really had cause to go to Stanton was if we were going to go to a sports game that was past Stanton.
Sure.
Or because Stanton is in co-ops with everyone because they're tiny.
Right.
Or if I was going to work, which is near Stanton. The power plant was near Stanton. It was not in Stanton.
You'd have to make a turn and go
and go into
miles.
Town.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I never really went in there.
But they had a great cafe.
Yeah, went there. Well, I went there a couple of times. I think I went there once when I was younger with my dad. And then the last day of work, the first year I worked out at the power plant, my boss took me out there.
Sure.
And we had lunch at the cafe, and that was great. And there was, a cafe in downtown Washburn that was really good for a while, the Lewis and Clark Cafe. That place has changed hands a billion times. I don't know if there's actually anybody doing anything in there now. But I always liked eating there. I don't know why. It was always quiet. I enjoyed that.
There was a restaurant called The Cabin in Antler. Antler is amazing because you go in there and it looks like maybe there used to be a town here.
Yeah,
I mean they're built. I mean like there's tall buildings.
Yeah,
and then a field, and then maybe somewhere else a tall building.
Yeah,
and then this restaurant where I honestly say I may have had the best steak I've ever had.
Really,
at that restaurant.
Nice.
And it's essentially a bar, but since there's no law, there's kids in there.
Yeah. Well, and that's like Captain's Cabin in Washburn.
Sure.
Along the highway, they have great food there. But that is strictly a bar.
Right.
It's not a bar and grill. It is a bar that serves good food. But it is, I believe, 21 and only.
Sure.
21 and only.
21 and only.
21 and up only.
Okay.
And then there's another place, similar situation in Underwood that's used to. I don't know if it's still called the Rusted Rail. There was a building there where a fire got started, and they found out it was insurance fraud. But now there is again a restaurant there.
Have you ever had a steak at Cole Harbor?
At the Harbor Bar?
Yeah, at the Harbor Bar.
I've never been inside the Harbor Bar.
Never been inside of the Harbor Bar?
No, I haven't.
You should go to the Harbor Bar. It's
fun.
The Harbor Bar.
Harbor Bar.
The Harbor Bar.
Harbor Bar. Harbor Bar. I also love that it's called Cole Harbor and the lake is like 4 miles away.
Right? Yeah, it's a harbor.
You can see the lake from certain places or the lakes.
Yeah, lakes because it's Audubon and Sakakawea.
Yeah, Audubon's the weird tiny little tumor.
Right.
That got split off of Sakakawea
by a highway.
By a highway,
yeah.
but
I like Audubon.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time on Audubon to be honest. Boy, we were ending the episode, weren't we?
We were. Now we're just a rambling.
Yep, that's okay. Like, we could continue these conversations with the microphones off.
Yeah.
But we've just kept talking with them on. At any rate.
Where people will still not give a shit.
We got a lot of traffic for whatever reason on last week's episode.
Did we really?
Yeah, and the week before too, there was a lot of traffic, and I don't know where the fuck it came from. So if this is your first episode, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
Listen to back episodes and then come back to this one for a lark.
Yeah.
And listen to Kreator.
Good God, I'm so sorry if this is your first episode. Holy shit.
Yeah. We won't do this to you next week. Next week it would have been hilarious. If we'd have got an even tireder Kayle.
It's OJ only, and I'm just leaning back every once in a while going, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
He's become the hype man of the episode.
Woo! Metal! Slayer! Yeah.
I know what album I want to do in 3 weeks.
Okay, what album do you want to do in 3 weeks?
I want to do Power Slave.
Power Slave, okay.
Yeah.
That's Iron Maiden.
Uh-huh.
You were telling me you were listening to Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I was, and I'm like, we need to do this in the podcast. This is like pre-thrash.
Yeah. It's possibly one of your most important albums.
Yeah.
For you, so okay.
It's one of those that all of a sudden I felt my eyes opening for the first time.
Oh, to the power of Satan.
Yeah.
As I was saying, if this is your first episode, we're sorry. If you enjoyed this for whatever reason anyway, you can check out our social media pages. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. We always post new episodes there. You can get updates if you follow them or just check them out or whatever.
All right.
I don't care what you do. You're a goddamn adult. Do whatever you like.
Not necessarily. What if there's kids that listen?
Fuck you. I'll kill you.
There you go. For the record, Kayle will kill children.
I put explicit tags on this shit for iTunes.
Okay.
They know they're not allowed.
Sure. Because that stops people.
Yep.
We know the mouse stops working anytime you go to Pornhub and you're not 18.
Yep. It stops working. They know. They can tell. Stops working.
Not today, kiddo.
You are a child. You are not allowed to watch this content. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And I guess you made it to the end of another episode of the Bronze Medalist. We might have had more stuff, but this time. So you made it to the end of another episode of the Bronze Medalist podcast. I'm Kayle.
I'm OJ.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.